Hey y'all, welcome back to Trendy DIY 29, back with another video. This is going to be a short and sweet video. I remember telling you guys I was going to set up my drip irrigation, so I want to show you guys a little bit about what I set up. So this is the most important part. As you can see, I have my timer set up, which is connected to my outdoor faucet. Basically what this timer does, if you look closely, you see how I have the auto. This is for a rain delay. So say if it rains, I can come out and hit the turn it onto the auto switch, and then it will know, okay, don't cut on, don't water the plants because it's supposed to rain. I have the set clock. You have the time that your plants are going to start being watered. You set the time, of course, to your zone or wherever you live. Then your start time, when you want your plants to start. So say if you want your plants to be watered 7 in the morning, you could put in 7 in the morning as your start time. Then for how long, I'm going to water mine for, I'm going to start with 10 minutes a day for about 10 minutes every 12 hours is what I'm going to shoot for. And then if the soil isn't moist enough, then I'm going to shoot for 10 minutes every 6 hours. So you got to like play around with that. The next part is going to be I want to say that this is the dripper flow thing. I can't remember, but this is a screen in here or something. And down here you can put in granular fertilizer to feed your plants, and this just keeps the system from getting clogged. So this is going to keep out sand and dirt and sediment. This does not come in the Dig drip set. I brought I want to say that is the ML50 Dig raised bed drip set. That's what I brought, and it came with 50 inches of drip tube, and I purchased another 100 inches of drip tube, which has drip emitters that are spaced every 9 inches. If you're doing container gardening, you want to probably get the ones that's spaced every 6 inches, but they were sold out. So here we go. We ran our pipe all the way down, and you see you come over here to this little connector. I ran it up into the raised bed up here, and as you can see, you raise it over, and then here goes my little drip. You see the little hole right here? This is where the water is going to come out of, and I just basically looped it through all the plants back and forth, as you guys can see down in here. And what that's going to do is it's going to drip the water. And then on this end right here, this is open because I plan on adding another line, and then I'm gonna move it over here, and then I'm gonna water all of these plants on the steps, and then I'm gonna cut off the line. I'm gonna show you what that looks like. So I ran it from over here. As you guys can see, it ran underneath of here, ran over there, then it's up this one into this container. We've been working on this, guys, for like over 2 hours, and we're not even halfway through yet. He had to go to the store, my boyfriend, to get some more of these little staples right here to hold this down, because you guys can see my staples are too big, so I need some smaller ones. But into the cucumber bed, and you see I just looped it down the same way that I did with the first container. Make sure that it gets moist all the way through. And what we decided to do on this one is just to cut the line and close it off. Let me see if I can find that. It's in here somewhere. Where is it? Okay, it's right here. So if you guys look down here, it comes with something called goof plugs. Comes in the kit. You get like 8 of them. Buy more, because this helps you to close the line. So this basically closes the line, or say if you put a hole in something and you don't need that hole, this helps you to close that line to keep the water from just wasting. So I closed this line off. So this whole thing right here, this whole area right here is done. I closed that line off. So the next thing that I did, as you guys can see, I ran the tube down the back of the container onto the ground, going towards the whole length of my yard, towards the greenstalk, which is the last thing that needs to be watered. So we ran this through here, and he's going to keep this the whole length. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop in these holes, which you make with this little thing. You pop your hole in, you put your little piece, your connector piece on, and then we just ran it up into the tomato. You want to spiral it around, and as you guys can see, then I moved on over into the pepper, spiraled it around, into the carrots and the onions, spiral it around, and then I plugged that one off. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go down in straight lines. So I did this whole line, guys, right here. This line down to those carrots right there. That's done. At the carrots, it's closed off. So I'm going to end up poking another hole into the main line. And then I'm going to run another one of these brown cords through. And then this, actually, I think I already did. Yeah, I just didn't punch the line, the hole in yet and connect it. But this line will be connected down here, which is then ran through here. So I got it going through my tomatoes. I got it going through the echinacea. And then I have it going through also this peppermint right here. Then we're going to close off the line, excuse me. And then I'm going to work my way down, put another hole, run more of this brown dripper line up into these flowers. Then I'm just going to go forward, go through all of those plants at the top. Then I'm going to cut the line off. Then I'm going to make another hole right here. Then go all the way to these plants. I'm just going to work my way back and forth until we get down here. Once we get down here, guys, into this raised bed, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet, because you guys know I have the nasturtiums growing right here. And the nasturtiums is getting wild, okay? So the nasturtiums is growing here. I got cucumbers and tomatoes. It's just a big wild mess. And then freaking this squash is just out of control. So all of these plants are just, I don't know what I'm going to do. But this is going to need a lot of drip line to go through here. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. But I do know that the green stalk needs to be watered from the top. So I'm thinking about leaving this line open. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to, because it might mess up the pressure. But after I'm done sealing off all of these plants get their drip lines, the last thing I'm going to do is probably take this tube, put it up inside the top of this green stalk, find a way to seal it off right here so that when all my water is on, it's going to be feeding into this green stalk too. So that hopefully everything will be watered at the same pace. I cannot find one video on YouTube showing how to set up drip irrigation into a green stalk. So I'm definitely going to try to show you guys how I do that. So look out for, I may attach it to this video, or I may make a separate video for that. So look out for that. And then what I'm going to do once I'm done this is I'm just going to run it over here to the trellis, up the tomatoes. Well, no, I'm not going to run it up to the tomatoes. I'm going to run it down around the bottom of the tomatoes, up underneath this bench, up through these flowers right here, back down into the ground, over here to the peas. Then I'm going to run it behind here. This is a lot, guys. I don't even know if I got enough tube. Run it all the way through here until it gets to these marigolds, and then I'm going to cut the line and I should be done. Now, this sounds easy, but I know this is going to be very complicated because we still have to cut grass. And the fact that you have to cut grass, if we had concrete, it would be way more easier. So we got to be very careful where we place this stuff, or the lawnmower is just going to run everything over. It's going to be a disaster for him to cut this yard. So we're trying to just run it across the center up underneath of this, and then he'll just weed whack, he said. So that's basically what we're doing, guys, to hook this stuff up. There's really not much for me to really show you other than this, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea, because a lot of these YouTube videos do not show you people hooking up like the type of containers that I have, or these type of boxes. Most people either have the raised bed that's only about a foot, or only about maybe 2 feet up off the ground, if that, versus these are sitting, like 4 feet or 3 feet up off the ground. A raised bed is about maybe a foot up off the ground. So most people don't show you how to run it if you have different types of containers. So I wanted to show you guys how I did it. And the trick to this was, if you guys see, they give you 8 elbow connectors. So you see, the trick is that we did, that I think really helped, is that they gave us this T-shaped connector. Nobody shows how to use this on YouTube. At least I haven't seen it. But this is the T-shaped connector. So if you have 2 different sides of your yard, like for instance, you guys see all my plants, the majority of them is on this one side of my yard. But then there's like this one big container, and then there's a few baby containers on this side. So when you're working with 2 different sides, you want to use this T-shape. Because what I did was I ran, this is the main line coming from the hose, ran it here into this T-shape up into this one, but you still have this opening right here on this side. And what you can do is you just run it through here, and now you got it going this way too. So now you got a T-shape that you're going left and you're going right. And then your main line is connecting them in the middle. That's really important because most people just use elbows and you only get 8 elbows. So you got to use them wisely. So I'm going to cut this system on real quick, guys, and show you just how it works. And as you guys can see, I have it on off. What this does is basically my house water will stay on at all times. We have a pressure regulator on here, which is going to keep the PSI at about 25, which is really good because most garden hoses is like 50 something, which the water will come shooting out and spraying out and it will just damage your plants. So you definitely need a pressure regulator. That comes in the kit. Once again, is the Dig ML50 kit. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this on. I want to say you cut it on auto. Let me see. Okay, let me do manual. I hit manual. You hear that, guys? The water just kicked on, so it's going through the supply line now. You got to give it a few seconds, but if you guys see this needs to be plugged up, but I didn't plug it up because I need to move the tubing into here. But as you guys can see, I will show you. We have action. The plants are getting water. It cut on by itself. And you can see that all the water is just dripping out there nice and good. We're going to move over here. We see the whole system is dripping water good, how we need it to. Make sure y'all can see that. Move over here into my, there's something going on right here, but I think that this may not be connected yet. Yeah. So there's no water running really, guys, out of this one that much because it's not connected. Like right here, it's some dripping out in the carrots. But if you guys notice, like right here, I'll show you. See, water is dripping out. But all of these aren't 100% connected yet. So I'm guessing that's the reason why I don't see any water dripping out into, oh, I do see some water dripping out into my, tomatoes, but it's just not dripping out enough. So something is not right with this. That's why you want to keep cutting your system on and cutting it off, because you got to check to make sure that all of these are connected. And I see water is not coming out of these. So right now I know that this is all hooked up correctly and that there's something funky going on right here, but I think that my boyfriend did not connect it to the main line yet. So that might be the reason why. So make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe, and I will be back with another video.